Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this. I guess I'll make this an episode of Soul Food Sundays. My name is Keita. If it is your first time joining me, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Y'all, these lights ain't blinked in forever in this room. And as soon as I turn this camera on, here we go. All right, so hopefully it's gonna stop in a minute. Thank you. But I have been intuiting some messages as it relates to the summer solstice. Happy summer. I hope y'all enjoyed the summer solstice, Juneteenth. I hope you're enjoying Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to the kids. I love y'all dearly. And the message that's been coming through to me is that this energy is relative to fresh starts. This summer energy, right? Starting something new, or a do-over. But whatever it is, it's a beginning. I've been seeing 111 a lot, which is representative of new, more aligned beginnings, as it breaks down to a 3, and 3s are about alignment, 1s are about new beginnings, leadership, individuality, independence, things of that nature. So this fresh start energy, it's resonant with spring energy. And spring is like really the new year. It's the start of the astrological new years, when things start to sprout and you really start to see new beginnings. But the difference between this kind of spring and this summer energy is whatever this new beginning is for us as a collective, we're able to start it with more clarity. So you might have been involved in or have started something but confused. You made an attempt at something, but it was from a place of confusion and illusion. The foundation might have been faulty, so some of you may have experienced some tower moments in order to get to the clarity that you now have or will have, as the sun, which dominates the summer, represents truth and clarity. And also like a more lighthearted approach to things. Childhood innocence, joy, fun, happiness, right? Vitality. So if you've been vibing low, this time is optimal for raising your vibration and getting your vitality, your fire, your inner passion, your creative energy back. So I'm gonna pull some cards just to see what messages want to come out in support of what I've already channeled, and we're gonna go from there. I ain't gonna be long because I got some paintings I need to finish. I just got home from the gym, so I need to go wash my ass, even though I want to go for a walk, and I probably should go for the walk before I take a bath, but fuck it. I'm gonna take a bath, finish my paintings, and maybe later I'll go for a while and take another bath. Also, with this fresh start or do-over energy, starting from scratch on something, I don't know what planets might be in retrograde, but you know, like when Mercury is in retrograde, typically you got exes that resurface, things are up for review, renewal, reflection, all of the re's, right? So you want to keep that in mind as well as it relates to this new start, do-over energy. The key to it all is alignment. You don't want to negate, forsake, ignore the alignment or misalignment in these situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all on the same page, They want something you don't want. Y'all ain't compatible. Compatibility is a thing. And this is not just relative to love relationships or friendships. We could be talking about projects and career or job opportunities as well. Not every opportunity that is presented to you is aligned, is for you. You know what I'm saying? So we want to be mindful of those things as these new opportunities, fresh starts are being presented to us. So I'm gonna start with I think this is the Angels of Wisdom tarot deck, to see what message wants to come forward for the collective at this time as it relates to this summer energy. Just had a couple of cards of fallout on the ground, which typically speaks for me to what's grounding, and they both, all three, fell face down and in reverse. The deck is not in reverse though, so I'm gonna take these cards as reverse energy. So let's see. We got the King of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the Hermit in reverse. I like seeing the Nine of Swords in reverse because that means somebody been stressing, but they aren't anymore. This is definitely pointing to a new beginning, because the King of Cups in reverse is a more emotional immaturity. This is somebody who, when it comes to emotion, that is not their area of expertise, be it by way of deciding to be ignorant, making the choice to be ignorant when it comes to dealing with their emotions, or like for real not knowing, experience not teaching them, you know what I'm saying, experience not presenting those opportunities to learn, which depending on how old you are, life has presented you with opportunities to learn to be emotionally mature, but sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And for many of us, especially in hustle culture, in this culture where we prioritize clout chasing and trying to impress other people and trying to survive materially, being emotionally mature is not the most, it's not the highest on the totem pole of needs in terms of having a quality experience in this life, but it really is. Like, it should be one of the top. As a matter of fact, damn, I wish I had my iPad, because it's relative to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And on this pyramid, which is like a psychological study, when you learn psychology, they teach you Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is this hierarchy of human needs. Like, we need shelter, we need I don't remember none of the rest of them, you know, your physical needs, and then we need like self-assurance, self-realization, something like that, something about yourself. Emotional maturity fits there, you know what I'm saying? When you don't have it, your nervous system is a shitty mess. You always find yourself in the midst of conflicts and chaos when you don't have healthy ways of dealing with things of an emotional nature or your own emotions. So this King of Cups in the upright is emotional maturity. He's sitting there on this it looks like a boat, but it could be, yes, definitely a boat, because he's facing the shore. And you got the king, he's looking forward, so that's like looking toward the future. He got this cup in his hand, so he's like taking ownership of his emotions, as cups represent emotions as well as spirituality and intuition. You got this fish jumping out the water. Fish typically speaks to like fertility. For some of you, it may be relevant to having a kid or kids. And then you got on this chair, which I've never noticed, a angel or a cherub in between two cups on the chair, and the angel is holding a cup as well. So this is something where this King of Cups is future focused, taking ownership of his emotions, and there's a ship that's setting out in the opposite direction, right? So it's leaving the shore. There's something that's leaving his 3D reality, but he ain't looking at it. He looking toward the future where the ship is going in the opposite direction. I can't make this shit up. So it's in reverse though. So this is speaking to somebody having gone through something where they were spilling their cups, or as I was talking about in another reading, casting their pearls before swine, not emotionally mature or accountable in some way. And I don't know, this cherub with the cup behind the king's seat is giving me inner child healing, owning like the inner child's feelings. Now, this is a king, which is masculine energy, but we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So this does not mean that I'm talking necessarily about a man. We're talking about masculine energy. But whatever the case, he was stressed the fuck out and stuck in his head, but not anymore. This is like insomnia. This is something keeping you up this at night. This is something like being in your head and not in your heart, which caused the emotional immaturity. But I love that the 9 of Swords is in reverse, because that says that this person is recovering from that energy and no longer like in this energy of what do they call it, burning the midnight oil. As you can see here, you got a full moon out. The full moons govern our emotions. When most times when we have a full moon, we're highly emotional, or it brings up things inside of us that have been lying dormant or been buried deep down within us, again pointing to that emotional immaturity. This is somebody who has gotten to the source of some of their emotional immaturity, and it's possibly relative to some childhood wounding. After having that damn right, you ready for a new beginning. And then you got all these candles. So you might have somebody that's into candle work or just like candles, you know what I'm saying? But whatever the case, love seeing that in reverse. And then you got the number 9 card of the major arcana in the deck, the Hermit, and that's in reverse. Now when the Hermit is upright, this is someone setting off on a journey of self-discovery, reflecting, introspecting, going within to kind of tend to their emotions, their mental, raise their vibration, to learn, to explore. And one thing that's a misconception about the Hermit is that it's a energy of complete solitude. The Hermit is not necessarily, sometimes yeah, but not always complete solitude. The Hermit has this lantern for a reason, because this is someone who goes out and they raise their standard and their boundaries and make it harder for people to contact them, to come close to them, to get within their bubble or their sphere, so to speak. And so this is somebody who kind of draws back from the crowd and goes their own way. They set off on their own journey, but their light shines not only to guide their way forward, but also their light attracts other people. They just don't make it easy for people to get to them, for people to reach or get in contact with them. This energy is speaking to somebody having been on that journey, but it being in reverse. This person is lonely. This is somebody who wants to share what they've learned up to this point, coming out of this King of Cups in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse, now that they're not stressed and in anxiety, and has learned, cultivated some wisdom along their journey. They're lonely. When you set out on this journey that is being described here, you find that not everybody can relate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta connect with particular people who vibe on the same frequency that you do, that may understand what it is that you've been through, that you can have energy exchange with. So this is dope as fuck. Top of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. This is somebody who's been activated. They've gone through an awakening. The card says that this energy represents an amazing opportunity to be bold, courageous, and optimistic. Now is the time to take action. Do what you're passionate about. Didn't I say that this sun energy is fiery and passionate, and it's about new beginnings? Wands are fire. Wands are passion. And aces are new beginnings. So we definitely got that energy. So some of you may have been experiencing a Kundalini awakening, where the energy that has been dormant at the base of your spine in your root chakra has opened up and is traveling towards your crown chakra. So you find yourself more creative. You may even be experiencing like hot flashes. You got more energy. You may be hornier. That's connected with your Kundalini energy, but ultimately it's your creative energy rising. So as to give you the capacity to receive like downloads and connect with your ancestors, your spirit guides, the Holy Spirit, cosmic energies better and clearer, and express that in your 3D reality. So it makes you literally a bridge between heaven and earth. So we've identified this new start, fresh start, for some do-over energy. And if this is a do-over, this is somebody that at first attempt they operated in this King of Cups in reverse energy, but now that they're out of this 9 of Swords in reverse, 9 of Swords energy of stress and anxiety, they want a fresh start. They want to come out of hermit mode. They want to enjoy your company, or the energy exchange with you. For those of you who this is not a love connection or a friendship, and it's a like a career opportunity, this is something where you attempted a career in another field, and you might have saw some level of success in it, but it doesn't fulfill you, especially emotionally and creatively. Like you bored with it, you know what I'm saying? Or you enjoy doing the thing, but it has started to bring you a level of stress and anxiety. And it could be the environment that you do the particular work or craft in. You're being led and getting clarity about doing that thing in a different way, in a different environment, amongst different people. But whatever it is, you're going to be clear on it, right? So it's almost like having a fresh start at something that you're already an expert at, but doing it in a new, more innovative way that you're passionate about. At the bottom of the deck, what the fuck did I say? Awakening. Somebody has had an awakening, and the awakening card is equivalent to the Hangman. So this is somebody seeing things from a different perspective after having had this experience. If this is an ex coming back around to try, want to do over, or you approaching a career or a community setting or a friendship or something, and starting over, or something new that you're starting, whatever it is, you're approaching it, or somebody is approaching it with you from a different perspective. They've been enlightened. This card represents a temporary pause for reflection and insight, and awakening where you see things in a whole new light, embracing your own uniqueness and charitable actions. You got who I assume to be, Archangel Raphael, sitting in this tree. Archangel Raphael looked like he tired. Look at him. He ain't even looking at bro like, God damn, it took a lot of work to get this motherfucker to this point. But you got this person here, they're not tied to this tree against their will. This is somebody who they put themselves there. He's hanging on with the muscle of his leg and just like freely in this posture where the blood can rush to his head and his heart, and allowing the things that he once valued that are in this bag to fall to the ground if need be. This is somebody that's willing to let go of whatever needs to be let go in order to have and enjoy, sustain, and maintain this fresh start. No longer holding on to certain things. These actually look like photos or maybe even tarot cards that are falling out of this bag. When I tell you I ain't paid attention to some of this detail. And then there's also a feather and a key. So there's some doors that this person had access to that they now don't even want to go in. I don't give a fuck about your key. I'm not gonna use it. I ain't coming over there. I'm not going back through that door even though I have access. I have no desire. You know what I'm saying? This is feathers represent air. So we may be talking about some people who have dominant Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini placements, but changing the way you think and communicate, because air can represent communication as well. So you got this white feather that has fallen out, and white represents like purity and truth. So definitely like what used to be true for you, you see differently. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody who's had a shift in consciousness. Then you got this necklace that's hanging from the person's neck, and it has what I believe to be a trident on it. This thing right here. You probably can't see. I think it's gonna be blurry, but it looks kind of like a pitchfork, and that represents Neptune. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, like I'm sure of the significance of Neptune in this situation, but there's a path in this image as well, and it splits into two different directions. So this is somebody who had a choice as it relates to which direction they took. For some of y'all, it's whether to be single or enter a relationship, to stay at your job you already at, or enter into a new organization or job, to partner with somebody or stay working independently, to enter a friendship or keep riding solo, or there's a choice as to which direction this person would take, but they took time before making that decision to get in this hangman position and see things differently. One thing about the hangman is that a heart chakra awakening takes place, and that is Archangel Raphael's domain. And that's why Archangel Raphael, I promise y'all can go back and watch the thousands of readings I done at this point. I ain't never broke down the symbology in these cards the way it's jumping out at me today. Archangel Raphael looked like, God damn, I had to put in work on this nigga hard. Like to get him here, my God, today, but it's done. And you can tell by the look of being just like free and satisfied and surrendering that this person has. You see them arms wide open, like they've surrendered to this new perspective that they have, and it feels more aligned with where they are heading on this journey. This is somebody that's gonna come down from their tree clear about what direction they're going in, which one of these paths that they're going to take. When I was at the gym and I was in the sauna, I had a download about two people meeting in the middle of a road. Like as soon as I closed my eyes to meditate, I saw like the sun and somebody, a woman walking toward the sun on a path, but a man emerged walking from the direction of the sun. It's like they met in the middle. So there may be some element of compromise or meeting in the middle, or that may just be speaking to the alignment, meeting in the middle of the road in this situation. I am going to close. No, I'm gonna clarify this and then with my little homemade deck, and then I'm gonna close it out with the African Goddess Rising Oracle. Whatever fall out, I'm gonna read it in the upright because I didn't take the time to make sure these cards were upright. Okay, so victim mentality, the root chakra. Bring your attention to where you may be giving your power away. That was this person in the King of Cups energy in reverse. When that was the case, they were emotionally immature and unintelligent in a way because they were in victim mentality and giving their power away. But what I'm intuiting is that that's one of the things that's on this boat that's heading off in the other direction. Instead of giving their power away, they're taking accountability. They're healing, they're growing, and they're no longer playing the victim, but claiming the victory in these situations, not allowing whatever has happened along their journey to be a hindrance, and instead transmuting those experiences into like wisdom and fuel, fire to move forward with, hence the Ace of Wands. So I love that this person having a healthier root chakra, which means that they feel safer in this 3D reality, whereas they once didn't feel safe. And when you don't, oftentimes that emotional immaturity shows up in the way of mechanisms to keep you protected. But those things often protect you from said hurt, harm, danger, vulnerability, but they also sabotage good opportunities, growth, and also in the long run hurt you and the other people involved. So good to see that this is something that some of you are healing and growing from. If this is not you, this is somebody who is possibly going to be approaching you with for a new beginning, a fresh start, or a do-over. At the top of the deck is priority. Oh, I pulled two. What the fuck? Hey, I love what I do. This shit never gets old. I am tired of the distance between us. Impatience. Somebody is getting impatient with this pause, with this hangman energy, with this hermit energy. That's why the hermit came out in reverse. They are tired of the distance between y'all, and I want to create a family with you. Hey now, that's the priority. Somebody wants to make you, or you want to make somebody a priority, and you're thinking, or they're thinking more long term about having a stable foundation now that they feel safer in their 3D reality, and want to build from that deeply rooted place within them. Where's that damn card? As you can see here with the awakening, you got this big ass tree that he's hanging from. That is the type of legacy and found that this person wants to build from the foundation that is now being laid, and they're growing impatient with the internal work and the timing of it all, and want to reveal that that is their desire. This is dope as fuck. Hey now, say now. So somebody wanted to create a family with you, and they're tired of the distance. What's at the top of the deck? Stability. Another root chakra card. Balance is essential to your nervous system and emotional health. So the driving force is this person wanting more stability in their life. So this is somebody who in their emotional maturity at first didn't realize how unstable of a life that's not a lifestyle that is to be lived long term, right? Stability is good for our health, mental and otherwise, and especially emotionally. So this is somebody who is seeking more balance and stability in their life, because balance is essential to the nervous system and emotional health. Then at the bottom of the deck, you have, and it's face down. Oh, it's a couple of cards that's face down at the bottom of the deck. Lord, please don't let it be a lot, because I do not want to read all of it. I'm going to get y'all all of it. Okay. I am loyal to you. But see, you don't know this, because this is somebody who has not revealed that they want a fresh start or a do-over. Now, if this is a new connection, just know that if you want monogamy, you want, because monogamy ain't synonymous with loyal. I have friends who are into polygamy, but are still loyal to their partners, right? But whatever it is, y'all gonna be on the same page. That is that alignment. So this is somebody who's loyal to you. They prioritize you. They just have yet to physically show you and vocally express that to you. Man, that's priceless. You hear me? If you've been through some of the shit I've been through, then you know these hoes is not loyal. You can ride and motherfucking die 10 times over for folks, and they not be loyal to you and show you that same level of respect and reverence. So that's rare. Do not take this shit for granted. Solar plexus. I am defining my own sense of integrity and personal code of honor. Fuck what everybody else doing. This is somebody that's building the confidence to do shit their own way. After being in this hangman and hermit energy, like this is somebody who's following their own blueprint, doing things their own way, not afraid to go in there in a different direction. And I'm hearing India Ari, headed in the right direction. I can see the light of day. I got love in my protection. And an angel showing me the way. Turn my head in the clouds or something. Y'all gotta listen to that song. I'm gonna put it on the community board, because this is somebody who is headed in the right direction. They're doing things their own way, by way of healing and aligning their solar plexus, which is all about enthusiasm, life force, energy, confidence. This is somebody who put that shit that was draining them on this ship that's heading in the opposite direction and not looking back. Like, that shit no longer serves me. I'm focused this way. That other shit can go that way. That's dope. Also, face down, let's travel the world together. So this ain't somebody that's gonna be boring. You may have a love for travel. This is somebody that wants to travel with you and have those experiences with you. There may be something that y'all share in common, your love for travel, and that is something that they've already considered. I talk to God about us. Listen, don't send me no man who don't talk to God about me. Who ain't, for one, I can't be in a serious relationship with anybody I don't have a spiritual connection with. For one, my Venus is in Pisces. Pisces is spiritual, intuitive, deeply spiritual, intuitive energy, and I have major Scorpio placements, which is also deeply spiritual, intuitive energy. So I can't have romantic relationship where I feel like spiritually there's a void and we don't have that common denominator of our connection with the divine. You're gonna have to talk to God about me, because that's just what it is. The root chakra, again, generational trauma. It is your responsibility to sort through and heal the past generation's trauma. So this is somebody who is doing that work and possibly asking God to help them do that work so that they can show up better for you and who and whatever is a part of this dynamic. But the healing generational trauma, they understand or are coming to understand that they are a generational curse breaker. People be asking me like, matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about my life journey, and I was like, yeah, when I was 28, I wore my hair like this. And she was like, wait a minute, you ain't 28? And I was like, girl, hell no, that was a long time ago. I'm 42. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you that young. I mean, like literally stumbled, like damn near lost her footing. And I was just saying how I ain't gonna lie, because she was asking me, what's the secret? And I said, listen, when you're the generational curse breaker, I feel like youthfulness is a gift for all that you have to go through in order to transmute the generational trauma in your life. And so this is somebody who possibly relates. So they may have some youthfulness about them, may not look their age, because look what all they have in a fight. In order to build this foundation, they're having to be that generational curse breaker, and that shit ain't easy, but it comes with rewards. It comes with gifts. And you don't just break generational curses in one fell swoop. This generational curse is very possibly the emotional immaturity and unintelligence. And that's not to speak ill on our ancestors. And me and my friend, we was having this friendly debate about whether or not white people have ancestors, because she said she feels like the term ancestor is indigenous to being black. And I was like, no, I think it just means, you know, your crossover loved ones regardless of your color. I said, but to meet you in the middle, let's just say that their ancestors should be called forefathers. So whether it's your ancestors or your forefathers, they lived in times and circumstances and under conditions where emotional intelligence, boundaries, emotional maturity, those things weren't even a topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? They dealt with the trauma and the drama that comes with it, but they weren't common topics. It wasn't kitchen table talk. And there was so much, they were living so much in survival consciousness, poverty consciousness, from making decisions from a place of lack, that those type of things were not necessarily in the forefront of their mind or being discussed. So we just thank God for the opportunity to be the ones to break those curses. And all of that was face down, right? Every card that I just mentioned from the top of the deck was face down. Guess what they facing? It's us against them. I love this for y'all. I love the idea of you having someone loyal, a teammate, a ride or die, somebody to move forward in union with towards shared goals. After what looks like has been a long journey, I'm gonna get us a closing message as we damn near 40 minutes in to this reading, baby. This summer is not bullshitting. Don't ever underestimate the power of the sun. So Spirit, what's the closing message for the collective at this time? Matter of fact, I'm gonna chop these up a little bit and pull one card, because I'm not trying to read no whole deck at this point. Miracles, represented by the number 42. If you don't believe in miracles, this would be a good time to start. For many of you, you have doubted, like you know who I'm talking about, and you've doubted this person's ability to align with you. But from the looks of things, this motherfucker been putting in work behind the scenes. And when they resurface, their energy alone, you're gonna feel the miracle of what has transpired within them and how it's gonna show up externally. Like, this is somebody that's down for you, period. Top of the deck, betrayal. There may have been some betrayal in this situation, or this just may be speaking to the deception, the part of this shit that's going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. So while it's looking like there's no progress being made, there are actually miracles unfolding, and you are getting your harvest at the bottom of the deck. This is something you worked hard for. You put in that work, and you're going to be reaping the reward of your harvest. So opposed to casting your pearls before swine, wasting your time, energy, and resources, you're going to get what you deserve and then some. This is abundance. I love this for y'all. I hope the message found you well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. This is definitely progressive, as you have the number 42, which breaks down to a 6, and then at the bottom of the deck you got the number 43, which breaks down to a 7. So you guys are taking a step forward in the right direction. I ain't really got nothing coming up that I need to announce other than some vendor events. You can check that out on my Instagram page. If you are interested in a personal reader, feel free to email me or book via my Etsy store. As a matter of fact, I got a reading I need to finish right now, so I'm about to get off y'all line and go do my job. Until next time, y'all, peace. Oh, if the message resonated with you, leave a message down in the comment section. I don't mind chopping it up with y'all. I ain't Hollywood. Peace.